or the topic for today is care less, live more. Care less, live more. Daniel Smiley is my name. I will spend the rest of my life helping you get to the next level in yours. So thank you for joining me. And today we are going to be discussing care less, live more. It came from a conversation that I had with someone that I was coaching. And the one theme that was very clear is this person, hi honey, how you doing? Hi honey 14. This person really cared too much about what other people thought about them. So I created a post this morning and it said this: the same things that some people love about you, it offends other people, right? Your beauty, your intellect, your motivation, your body, your job, your car, your house, your spouse, where you're from. The same thing that people praise you for, some people praise you for, it offends other people. The same thing people praise you for, others are intimidated by that. So they don't like you because of it, right? So why spend your time caring about what anybody says? How you doing, Made of Magic? Okay. Why would you spend your time caring what anybody says? Good or bad? Good or bad? Why would you spend your time caring what they thought about? So I'm creating an ebook resource. It's called Care Less, Live More. Breaking the cycle of the approval of others. How you doing, Glenn? It's 811. So I am thankful that I've broken that cycle in my own life. I don't care what people think about me, good or bad. I don't care what the compliments are good. The naysayers who talk about me, that's fine too. Either way, I'll be polite and say thank you to those who compliment, and I do not respond to negativity at all, period. Here's why. Because people don't know you, really know you. They don't know you. Not really, right? Not all of you. My wife knows quite a bit about me, right? I know quite a bit about her, but I don't know everything about her. Not everything. No one can know everything about you. So if that's the case, why do we care what people think about us, good or bad? Why do we make seeking their approval in some way, shape, form, or fashion? Why do we make that part of what makes us happy or not make us happy, right? And that's what this gentleman that I was speaking to today about, I was talking to him about this. This was the situation. What was the situation? The clothes he wears, the car he drives, the house he lives in or area he wants to live in. It is all designed to create an image to project for others to think a certain way about him. So I ask, why? Why do you even care? Why? Why does it even matter? Right? Why would it matter if you drove a cash car? Would it bother you if you saw somebody who drove a cash car, but they had $100,000 in the bank, right? Why is other people's opinions so important to you that you would go broke in your life. Go broke in your life. Be unhappy with people when people don't notice you. How you doing, Ab? How you doing, owned by Helena? So, Made of Magic, that's a good point. So, the good thing about that, Made of Magic says, it's funny, I don't look at other stuff as a definition of them. But the majority of people do, right? They really look at, I'll give you an example. So someone said, hey, if you were given X amount of dollars, you know, what would you do? This gentleman said, well, I would go and buy me some Louis Vuitton and all this, right? And I know he likes that stuff. That's cool too. And they asked me, well, Dan, where would you shop? I said, well, at the closest Goodwill. And the person, I was saying it jokingly, although I don't have a problem with that. The person jokingly said, well, I doubt that. Because they were looking at me and they were thinking something about me that I never revealed. It's just an opinion that they had of me, an idea they had of me, right? You don't know where I shop. You don't know what money I spend or don't spend on what it is I have. You don't know what my assets are. You have no idea about what my liabilities are. You have no idea at all. But you've created this idea in your mind about what you think I am and what you think I do and how you think I roll, right? And so people treat you differently because they think one way or, but again, the same thing that impresses one person offends another person. So this resource, care less, live more, is designed to free you from your dependence on the opinions of other people. That's the whole purpose of it. Because the moment you can break free from caring about what other people think, that's when you can start doing what you want. Because before that, if you're doing it so that others can say nice things to you, you dress a certain way because you like people to tell you you look nice. You dress a certain way because it feels good when someone notices you, right? What ends up happening is we become dependent on that. Then you're living for the praise and approval of others and not truly for yourself. Why did you put on what you put on today? Did you do it because you liked the compliments? I'm not saying that that's the case, but I'm saying if it is the case, something that that you're dealing with, it's important for you to understand you have to break free from that, because you can't live an authentic life, be you and do you, right? Until that happens. Made of Magic says she's still in her pajamas. Can you walk outside without worrying what people think about you in your pajamas? Not that that's appropriate or not appropriate, but can you do that? Right? I want you to be free. That's my desire for you. I told you that my purpose in life is to help you get to the next level in yours. I will spend the rest of my breathing days helping as many people as I can get to the next level in their life. I don't care if it's one person or a million people. I just want to help people grow and go to the next level in their life, because it's awesome when you are free from depending on people's opinions, game over. Doesn't matter what they say, good or bad. Because when you are working hard and you're being good, they're cheering you on. Good job, paying you compliments. But the moment you do something they don't like, they are going to turn on you. The Jemison, I'm going to answer this question for you. The question is, how do we deal with a person who always argues? I'm going to give you two solutions. The Jemison, are you ready for the answer? Type yes in the comment. How do we deal with a person who always argues? Okay, so the important thing for you to understand is I want you to be free. So I'm going to answer your question and then we'll keep moving on. Before I answer the question, I'm going to encourage you to go to the link in my bio and get an ebook. Okay? Any one of the ebooks in my, if you do that, I will give you the free resource that I'm creating called Your Purpose, Your Passion, Your Life. It teaches you how to discover your purpose and your passion so that you can truly begin to live a happy, healthy, fulfilled life. Okay, so Jemison, here's the deal. First, why do people argue? Right? That's the first thing for us to understand. Here's the answer. People argue, right, because they want you to see things from their perspective. That's the reason why, the main reason, right? They argue with you because they are trying to force you to see things from their perspective. Instead of stopping and listening and understanding your perspective first, they argue with you because they're trying to force you to see their perspective, that they are right. And you may not have even shared your perspective or a point. It's just an idea or thought was introduced, and this person is trying to force you to see things from their perspective. That's first. So that's the first thing you have to understand. That kind of person is selfish. They don't care anything about what you think, what you want, what you desire, if you are right or not. They don't care about that. Okay? So, now that you know that, what would you do? I'm going to tell you what I would do. I don't argue with people. I'm not. I shut my mouth and I end the conversation and walk away. Because if they're going to argue with this wall. Not me. If a person does not have enough respect for you as a human being, if they don't care about you enough to value your perspective, because no one knows everything, right? No one has cornered the market on everything. So listening to another person's perspective, no matter how much experience you have with a thing, it's important because they may shed some new light on the situation that you haven't thought about, right? Because everybody brings a different perspective to the table. So the proper way to have a discussion is to seek first to understand their perspective. And once you understand their perspective, then you try to give them an understanding of your perspective, if they're willing to listen to it. And then you come to a common ground, something that you both can agree on. That's the proper way to have a discussion. So, the Jemison, if you have someone in your life who is hell-bent on arguing about everything, leave them alone. I don't care who they are. Mom, dad, brother, sister, best friend, stranger, it doesn't matter. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. I was talking to somebody earlier today, just a few hours ago, someone in my family. And they made a statement that someone else had said something to them and they felt the need to respond. This is what my response was. Protect your peace. They're not worth your time. Why? Why would you spend a second responding to people who are just lying? Why? What are you defending? What do you have a need to defend? What other people think about you from what they say? Who gives a damn? I don't. You shouldn't. I don't care what they say. You shouldn't care what they say, because today they love that same person. Today they love you. Tomorrow they don't like you. Right? So you keep it moving. Protect your peace. Right? Today we're talking about care less, live more. Care less, live more. Care less, live more. Do not spend your time worrying about what people think or say, because, again, the premise is there are people who will love you for who you are, right? And what you do and what you bring to the table. And there will be a group of people who hate you for that exact same reason. Oh my gosh, you have beautiful hair, right? One person says. Another person says, I hate her hair because their hair can't be like yours. Who's right? Neither one of them are. You are right. It's your hair. So don't worry about it. Why do people care so much about other people's opinions? Number one, they want to impress other people. They want people to think something about them that may or may not be true. Right? 99% of people don't know what kind of car I drive, what kind of house I live in, where I shop for my clothes. They don't have no idea. I don't flaunt it because I don't care, right? I don't care for them to know. I don't. I can care less. I drive what I drive. I live where I live. I do whatever I do. That's it. That's it. That's all. Now, I may share it with a couple of people because I'm proud, mom or brothers or whatever, but the rest of the world, no, sir. Because I know that the same people who say, ooh, that's a nice car, will be the same one that says, who the hell do you think he is? Right? And they don't even know you. They don't. Number two, we care about what people think because we want to gain their approval. Right? Their approval raises our self-esteem, our love for self, our belief in self. We've done something right. Right? So we want their approval. Maybe when you were growing up, people did not pat you on the back. Maybe you weren't affirmed. Maybe you weren't told that you've done a good job over and over and over again. Right? So now as an adult, what you're doing is you're seeking the approval of others. You walk, you smell good, you look good, you work good, you make good money, and you want people to notice it. Why? Because in your mind, it makes you feel like you're established, that you've done something and you've done it right. You need them to approve that what you've done is right. Even though you're doing it yourself, right? You're making it happen. Social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, a lot of social media platforms, you're seeing people flexing, right? They may have it. That's fine. It's okay. Go get. But the need to put it out there so you can get 100 likes. The reason why people do that is because they need need for themselves. They need it. They need people to notice them because they want that approval. That you've made it, that you've done something, right? It's good to be proud of what you've done, what you've accomplished, right? And it's okay to post it on social media. That's fine. Listen, I post my wife and my daughter all the time because I'm proud of them. I love them. My wife is my flex. My daughter is my flex. My sons are my flex. That's my flex. I'm a daddy. I like, my sons have their daddy in their life. My daughter has her dad in her life. My wife has her husband in her life. That's my flex, right? That's what I care about. That's my flex. Not my car. It's nice. It's my car. Not my house. It's nice. That's not my flex. My flex is this sexy, fine, beautiful, amazingly hot wife I got, right? Who, by the way, is also loving and caring and supportive and giving, right? That's my flex. So you hear me talking about my wife like she a Bentley, because to me she is. That's my flex, not my stuff. I don't need people's approval, right? But there's a lot of people who do. I thank God that my mom told us we were something. We were going to be something. Everybody has gone through a phase in their life when they were growing up. People told you ain't going to be nothing. You're not going to make it. They were rooting against you, right? Everybody, we all have. So, it's just how it is. We've all gone through that. And so now to overcompensate, what we're doing is we are flexing our stuff, which means that, listen, when we don't get the compliment that we've been looking for by flexing the stuff, when we don't get the approval we're looking for, it's a vicious cycle because we go out and get more stuff to try to get the attention and approval of others. So Made of Magic says, how long or hard was it to get to that level of caring less? Okay, I'm about to be transparent, Made of Magic. Made of Magic, type a red heart if you really want me to get really transparent about why I am this way and why you should be. Type a heart. Listen to me. I have done more dirt in my life hidden from the view of people that if I told you, it would be embarrassing. I have done all manner of stuff that I'm not proud of, that no one knows about but me and God. And I'm not proud of it. And you walk away from doing that, and people lift you up and try to praise you. Even though you have on this beautiful outer garment, but underneath those garments is the muddy, dirty, nasty filthiness you just did. Now, why did I say that? Because that's proof. We all have some naughty, dirty, nasty, lying, cheating, stealing way about us something we've done that nobody knows about. That you would never, ever tell anybody. You will go to the grave with it because it's too embarrassing. It's too horrible, right? We all have it. So since I know that about myself, right? And I own it. I know people don't know it. I know that their praise of me, their compliments of me are based only on two things: what I showed them and what they see, right? Because nobody really knows you. Nobody knows you really, but you and God. Your exterior, your outer exterior, the thing that you dress up every single day to go into the pub, nobody knows about the behind the door, in the dark stuff, right? So the reason why I don't judge people either way is because I doubt that anybody on this live, anybody on this replay has ever done as much dirt in their life as me. I doubt it. So I have no room to judge anybody. So I don't care about people judging me. I can care less. People tell me, listen, today alone, I heard from clients how awesome they weren't talking to me. The message came through someone else to me about how awesome I am, how dependent they are on what it is I do for them, the service that I provide, that we provide. I heard all of that, and I just said, thank you. That's all. I'm not, because the moment you fail that client, guess what? They're going to flush you down the toilet. So I take it all with a grain of salt. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm just working hard. So that's how I got to this place of care less, so that I can live more. I do not worry about what other people think. I dress for me. I put on what I feel comfortable in. Obviously, it needs to be appropriate because I don't want to offend people, but I put on what I feel comfortable in. So Made in Magic said that's an aha moment. What do you mean? Tell me, what was an aha moment for you? Or what was the aha, right? So we all have, right? Now, why can I fully accept my wife or co-workers or friends or strangers? Why? Why can I openly accept them no matter what? Because I promise you, if we put our lives side by side, my shit is shittier than yours. So I have no room to judge anybody, right? Number 3. The reason why we care so much is because we want to be liked. No one really wants to be hated, because that's a challenging position to be in, right? Nobody wants to be hated, although you are hated anyway. In my upcoming book to be released in August, Intimidating, 10 reasons why people are intimidated by you. You don't even know it. They're intimidated by you. The root of intimidation is fear. The root of that fear is an unknowing. They don't understand or know or understand something. I was talking to a guy today. He was telling me when he first came out, he felt a different way about his life when he was 6 or 7 years old, and he came out when he was in high school. And he said his concern was that people would judge him, right? And he said he was surprised when he told his dad was accepting of it, but his mom pushed him away. He was surprised by that. He thought his dad was going to be judgmental of him, and his mom was. And I said, how is your relationship today? He says, man, I've gotten to a point where it doesn't matter what people think. Back then, it mattered to him. So we want to be liked. Why do we want to be liked so much? Because to us, when somebody likes us, right, it feels like we've done something right, something good, right? We've done something that people like about us. So we do things to be liked. Made of Magic, that is exactly it. And so that's how I live my life. People don't know your dirt. So when they praise you, they don't have no idea. They see that beautiful, pretty exterior. And you may have just finished doing something that was so foul. Right? It happens every day all over the world. So because I know that, doesn't matter to me either way, because people don't know me, right? Another reason why people care so much, number 4, is because they're trying to fit in. They're trying to fit in, be a part of something, right? That's why people, not everybody, that's why some people join fraternities or groups or what have you. They're trying to fit in. They're trying to belong, feel like they belong. They felt for so long in their life they were an outcast, that they were not accepted. They're just trying to fit in. They're trying to fit in. What do I mean? They are a round peg. Square peg. They're trying to fit into this round hole. So imagine you have a square peg trying to get into a round hole. What ends up happening is you are forcing yourself into this mold that you were not meant to fit in. And so there's a lot of people that do that. They dress a certain way, go certain places, do certain things, talk a certain way, look a certain way, try to do this, try to do that. So because they're trying to fit in with now, what are they trying to fit in with? With people that they see that's somebody. Again, they don't know anything about those people, but they're trying to fit in with people that they believe they're doing something, going somewhere they're about something. You see this all the time, right? This is just me. I've never, ever been starstruck by seeing anyone that does the performing arts, like an actor or a singer. Never, ever. Now, I'm going to share something with you that you guys don't know, and this is not the reason why. But I've sang on TV for many, many years, 13 years, and I've traveled literally all over the world. I was on TV every day for 13 years. And so a lot of people knew me everywhere I went. They would stop me, Dan. Okay, right? I've never, ever been starstruck by anybody because for the reason that I just mentioned. Because I can tell you that those people who were saying Dan had no idea about a struggle that I had just made it through, right? So I know that that's happening in the lives of people who are on the big screen, or people who are on radio, or people who have a large social media following, right? I don't get disappointed when they fall. I don't. You fall when you're not watching what's going on, and you're not truthful and transparent and careful, and you care about what other people think about you. I can care less. Everybody's going to have a weak moment. Everybody does. And I never get disappointed when I hear something that happens to someone that is in the eyes of the world, they have some sort of high standard or high position. I just don't. But people do. Oh my God, I can't believe she. Yeah, no, I can't believe you, right? We all have those challenges, right? Number 5. You are good in many ways, but raunchy, filthy in others. We all are. And so if you could completely open up and show people who you are, they would not compliment you. They wouldn't. So don't become dependent on it. Don't rely on it. Don't let it make your day or take your day. Don't let it do it. And if you are a parent, make sure you are pouring into your kid. Make sure they know that there is no one in the world who will be more supportive, loving, giving, complimenting, affirming. No one in the world but you. My daughter, we made a shirt for her last year. We have an affirmation. I typed it up, put it in a nice frame. It is on her wall. And for a year, my 5-year-old daughter had to recite this affirmation until she knew it by heart. I would have her say it when I dropped her off at school. I would have her say it before she went to gymnastics. I would have her say it all the time. She would wear it on a shirt, right? It's an affirmation, affirming. I wanted her to know that if nobody else felt this way about her, that her parents did, and she needs to understand that as long as she feels this way about herself, she's good. So the affirmation goes like this. I am loved. I am beautiful. I am successful. I am God's child. I am loved. I am beautiful. I am successful. I am God's child. What happens is if you say it enough, right, you begin to believe it. You are loved. I didn't say I am loved by my parents. No, she needs to know she is loved by herself and by others. She is beautiful inside and out. So if somebody tells her she's ugly, she won't believe it. Because she has heard, all she has heard is that she's beautiful. She will define success in a different way. Success is not based on the accumulation and accomplishments of things in life. Success is about being who you are and doing what you were created to do. That's what success is, right? So she's not going to be, my goal for doing this is for her not to become dependent on anything for her to affirm her other than herself. I want her to not concern herself with the opinions of others, because for every person that tells you that you're awesome, there's 2 or 3 people that think you suck, right? But what do you feel about you? That's what's important. How do you feel about yourself? That's what's important. And that's what I want to try to instill in her, ingrain in her. That she is loved. She is beautiful. She is successful. And she is a child of God. Right? And if you can instill that in your children, right, as a parent, you don't have to worry about the world telling them something that they're not. They'll come home and say, I cannot believe that little girl told me I wasn't beautiful. I couldn't believe that girl told me I wasn't smart or I wasn't successful. I can't believe that little boy didn't think I was beautiful. I am beautiful. I am successful. Right? I am loved. I don't need him to love me. I don't need her to love me. I love myself. I don't care what they think about me. I care less so I can live more. What does it mean to live more? Be 100% who you are. That's hard to do, but be who you are. Do you want to do it? Good. Does anybody else want to do it with you? No. Oh, who cares? You do it anyway. You want to go? Good. They don't want to go with you? Fine. Go by yourself, right? We have to get outside of the framework of caring about the judgment of others. Judgment comes two ways: positive, good; negative, bad. It is a judgment when somebody tells you, you look beautiful. Thank you, but I know that. I'm not saying that's how you respond, but that's a judgment. They're judging you. They are telling you what their opinion of you is, for whatever reason. And they may not be talking about physical beauty. They may be talking about mental beauty or intellectual beauty or whatever, right? Thank you, but that's cool. But there's another judgment that's coming, right? We usually see judgment as being only negative. No, judgment is also positive. They're judging you. So you got to remove that. My prayer, my desire is for you to move all of that from your life. So this resource, Care Less, so you can live more, right? That's why I'm creating this resource for you. That's why I'm doing this live. That's why I'm doing this video, because I want you to care less about what others think, value more about what you think about yourself, because you know who you are and what you do and what you've done, 100% of it, right? Some things you are proud of, some things you will never tell anybody until you, right? They ain't gonna know, only God knows. They will never know, ever know, right? Care less, so you can live more. I'm going to ask you to do something, right? I want you to go to the link in my bio right now. Stop what you're doing. Click the link in my bio, and I want you to purchase the ebooks in the bookstore. I'm asking you to make an investment in your life. What is an investment? It means that you are paying for something today that will benefit you in your future. You're paying for it today. The book, you can download it so you can start reading it so that it will benefit you in your future. I'm asking you to do that, right? I want to continue coming to you live as often as possible, sharing video content with you so you can get to the next level in your life. I don't know, the next 40 years, I will do this as every day if I can, because it is my purpose, my desire to help you get to the next level in your life, the next level in your relationship, the next level in your success, the next level in your self-esteem, the next level in your family, the next level in your parenting, the next level in your money. I want to help you get to the next level in your life. So I want to provide resources that help you get to the next level in your life. So I'm asking you to go to the link in my bio. It'll take you straight to the ebook store. Look at the resources there and buy several. And I try to keep the ebooks very reasonable, $8.99 to $11.99, because I want to make sure as many people in the world as possible, I want them to be able to get them. And they'll be there forever. And it'll be yours forever. Consider getting it as a gift for somebody else. Dan, how do you do that? You buy it, you put their email address in it, it goes to their email. They get it. There's a book called Love Yourself. 15 Keys to Learning How to Love Yourself More. Where did that book come from? I was married for 28 years, got out of that marriage, got into another relationship after being single for a few years. And for 3 years, I was with a person who verbally and emotionally tried to beat me down. And I shouldn't have been with that person for 3 days. You think a person like me, who is super confident, who believes in himself, who does this kind of stuff to be a blessing to people's life, you would think that I wouldn't fall into that trap. But I did. And I was faced with looking in the mirror and asking myself, do you love yourself so little that you would let somebody talk to you like that and treat you like that? And when I asked myself that question, within 24 hours, I ended the relationship, packed my stuff, and I was gone. Click the link in my bio, right? You just go to the bio, click the link. If you send me a DM, I will send you the link via DM if you can't find it, right? You just put in the DM, I would like to buy the ebooks. But I want you to get the ebooks. Invest in yourself. Yes, correct. That's correct. So go to the Etsy shop. I did it this way because people can buy it and download it right now. And you can read the books and have the books on your phone, right? When you're on break, when you're in bed late at night, when you're faced with some sort of a challenge in your life, right? You can say, okay, wait a minute. Let me read this chapter. Let me read this again. Let me read this point. The 30 Days to Success Journal, right? It teaches you how to tweak a little bit each day. In 30 days, your entire life will change. Your entire life. Okay? So the real crusher. Why? Okay. That's a very good question. So the question is, why was that person in your life? So let me tell you just a quick 30-second to a minute story about why. I got married when I was young. It ain't an excuse. I'm just telling you the journey. I was 19 years old. Okay. My father was not in my life. So one thing that I was very adamant about, and that was my sons would not live without their father in their lives. Okay. So I got married to this woman. We were married in the relationship, living together, building a life for 25 years. One day, this woman came to me and told me that it was very apparent that the marriage was over. I did not even know what she was talking about because we had just gone shopping and had a good day. But that is a deal breaker for me. So the next day, that night, I left. And 7 days later, I was gone. 3 years later, we were divorced. Now, that was my first time, 19 until I was 44. That was the first time I was single as a real adult, right? So I explored and I met this woman that I thought was very attractive. She was fit and so on and so forth, but we were mismatches, okay? She sought the approval or needed the approval of the world to make her feel better. And everything she did on social media, everything that she did when we went out, all of that stuff was designed to get people to praise her, to lift her up. Now, I am a husband by nature. So I'm a supporter, right? I'm going to get behind you. You got dreams? I'm going to push you to those dreams, right? So I never, ever beat her down about those kinds of things. And I say it, like I said in my first marriage, it'll get better. It'll get better. It'll change. It'll get better. And it just never got better, right? Until I got to a point where I said, this ain't going to change. So I had to ask myself this question. And this is the question I ask people when they're faced with a relationship challenge. This is the question I always tell people to ask. If nothing changed about this situation, this person, if nothing changes, could you live like this for the rest of your life? And my answer immediately was no. So since the answer it was no, I had to make a decision for me. It was hard, but I had to make a decision for me. So Saturday night, she stayed out all night, came home. This was the first time she had ever done it. She came home like nothing had happened and she didn't do anything wrong. I had a conversation with her. She told me she ain't going to change. So I said, cool, I got it. You're not going to change. I understand it. I didn't say anything else to her. I didn't tell her, if you're not going to change, I'm leaving, I'm doing it. Nope, I ain't do none of that. I said, I can't deal with this. Well, that's who I am. That's what she said. I think what she said. That's who I am. I said, okay, I got it. I laid my head down. I went to sleep. I got up the next morning. I called my job and I said, hey, listen, I have some personal business to take care of. I will not be coming in today. I won't be coming in today. I called one of my buddies and said, sir, I know you work from home. Do you have time to help me for about 4 hours? Do what? I said, I'm moving out. I'm moving out. So I went to and got a U-Haul truck, backed it up to the apartment, and I took all my stuff. Moved my stuff over to where I moved it to, and I sent a nice text message. Thank you very much for the last 3 years. I realized that this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life. I appreciate you being who you are and blah, 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 right? But I'm sending you this message because I want you to know when you get home, my stuff is no longer there. She thought I was kidding. She thought I would never leave her. She tried to call me, but she couldn't because I had already blocked her number. She tried to connect with me on Facebook and Instagram and in other places. I had already blocked her. I was gone. And it has been 8-9 years, and I have not spoken a word since then. Now, why am I saying this? Because you got to live life for you. And if you're blessed enough to have someone who can come alongside you, they can be 100% who you are, and it is 100% who they are, and it is a compliment to 100% who you are, and your 100% is a compliment to who they are. I have that now. It's beautiful. Now, user 774, you may ask the question, why did you send a text? Because I know that was going to happen. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to talk about it. My mind had been made up. You weren't going to try to convince me, tell me you was going to change. I asked you the question. You said no. Okay. Now that you've made a choice, I have to make a choice. And my choice is I'm out. You understand? The funny thing, user 774, is I was about to propose to her in 3 months. What's the point I'm trying to make? In my first marriage, the counselor said these things to me, excuse my allergies. He said, if you cannot live with a person the way they are, do not be with that person. And so that is my standard. If nothing changed about that person, let's play this out. If nothing changed about that person, could you be with them for the rest of your life? If nothing changed about your job, would you stay there and retire, right? If nothing changed about your family, the dynamics of your family, I'm talking about brother, sister, mama, daddy, right? If nothing changed about that, would you want to be of part of that group for the rest of your life? If nothing changed about your best friend, if nothing changed about your friends, your circle, if nothing changed, could you do it for the rest of your life? If the answer is no, you got to keep it moving. So 1161 says, I'm going to give you the timeline. Okay. I'm going to give you the timeline. 19 until I was 44, I was married. Okay. From 44 to 48, I was single in a relationship kind of a situation, right? 4 or 5 years. I then found Ashley when I was 48 years old. Listen. Five years. I've been married to Ashley for 7 years, going on 8. Amazingly beautiful daughter, 6 years old. 5 years with Ashley is better than 100 years with somebody else. So it's never too late. It's never too late. In your relationships, are you surviving? Which is what I did for 25 years and 3. Or are you thriving? Are you surviving? Are you just making it? Or are you thriving? Happy to come home from work. Hate to damn leave the house to go to work because you got to be away from that person. You understand? You should be living. You should be thriving, not just surviving. So user 774, first marriage, 3 sons. The first 2 were in college. One was a freshman, one was a sophomore. My third son was a freshman in high school when this happened. So I knew I was not going to get married again until he graduated high school, because I needed to be connected to him. You understand? I moved 2-3 miles away. They didn't know where she didn't know. She knew where I lived, the area I lived in, but I needed to be in my son's life. So I waited until he graduated from high school, even though I wasn't in the house, right? I waited till he graduated from high school until I really started being serious about the relationship. So 3 sons from the first marriage, all grown and living a successful life now. I made a commitment to myself that my sons will not grow up without their father in their life, because I grew up without mine. For whatever reason, love my dad, but I grew up without him. I do not remember my dad being in my life past kindergarten. But I didn't want that for my sons. So I didn't care. I stayed in that marriage. I would have stood on my head for 20 years if I needed to. Because once I had these children, the game changed. It is now me having to care for a life. So my happiness and all that good stuff, I mean, that's cool. People do whatever they want to. I was willing to sacrifice for 20 years or so, until my sons were grown enough to get out on their own and take care of themselves. They was not going to do it without me. So I was willing to take whatever I needed to. And there was no real abuse in my first marriage, but I'm saying I was willing to do that because I made a commitment to myself that when I had these boys, they're not growing up without their daddy. I'm going to be there. And I still have an amazing relationship with my sons and their families now. You understand? What's my point? Care less. Live more. Care less. Live more. My friend, care less. Live more. That's what I want for you. Click the link in the bio. Purchase the ebooks. If you purchase ebooks today, I will send you, when I finish this book, a copy of Your Purpose, Your Passion, Your Life. I love you. I love you. I will spend the rest of my life helping you get to the next level in yours. I'll see you next time.